Ah, nice hiss. So, boys and girls, time for a no-so-wonderful another fun Guild War, and it's going to be about 17 minutes! Yay! So, first and foremost, we're going into an Urban Shadow Choux, an ae-KARINA, and then a Laia. Wow, this team looks like fucking cancer. So, what we decided to do is we're going to go into it with some general Purrgis shenanigans for the simple purpose of baiting the Urban Shadow Choux, but I did make a very small error in my judgment. I initially planned to activate Plan A, but that does not fucking happen, because ae-KARINA does big honkin' damage with the S3 Grand Slam, but the problem is the damage comes in after the fact. The actual hit isn't actually that damaging. It's the after effects of the hit. So because of that, Plan A no longer is going to proc because we didn't take that hit and be under half health. So, because of that, I was just at a crossroads of, I actually don't know what to do now, because I was going to see if I could plan to kill Laia as quickly as possible with the S1, S3 bite, but, yeah, the Urban Shadow Choux is also a huge fucking problem. And I just decided, hey, maybe I should just go for her first because we don't have access to the S1, S3. But then I was, okay, so then we kill the Urban Shadow Choux, thank God, through the grace of God and whatever. But I almost thought it was fucking over because I completely forgot, and due to, the skill transitions going through really, really quickly, I forgot that Jenua has stealth on him because of Wind Rider, and we also had skill nullifier on Watcher Schuri, so the Laia goes into Watcher Schuri, and then we're able to kill the rest of the team. Holy fuck! That is probably the closest and the most ridiculous that all the matches really get. But nowadays, hey, let's go into a Sea Phantom Politis team now with Apocalypse Ravi and Choux. Very, very odd setup there because none of them can really utilize Enrage, but also, hey, surprise, surprise, who had the highest attack? Sea Phantom Politis. Hey, Celine goes in with a reaction to a non-attack skill, straight up kills the bitch, get the fuck out of my store, take your receipt and fucking go. And now all we have left is Choux and Apocalypse Ravi. So, we brought Doris for the simple purpose of tanking all of the hits from an Apocalypse Ravi, and I didn't need to use the S3 onto the Midnight Gala Lilias, but I was a little afraid for whatever reason. I didn't need to do that. I could have easily just done the S2, because, hey, any S1 into the Choux would have worked. Midnight Gala Lilias just auto-crits. Doesn't really matter if she has crit resist right there. Would have been a hunky-dory, super amazing. But hey, whatever. Things work out the way they do. The only thing that I was kind of worried about was, oh, what if the Apocalypse Ravi was on a counter set, and I hit her a couple of times in with Doris. Doris takes way too much damage, and she's not able to heal in time, or, God forbid, Doris gets straight up killed by an S3. Fortunately for us, that doesn't fucking happen, and then we're able to go right on to the next match. Alright boys, it's time for some Remnant Violet shenanigans, the day right before he gets buffed. Hoorah! But yeah, we're really using him pretty much for no fucking reason. The only reason as to why is because we're going into Blood Moon Haste, Laia, and then a Navy Captain Landy. I am confident that I'm slow as shit, and the Laia is going to go first. Because of that, they've lost their cleanse. Now that their cleanse is gone, we can go in with New Moon Luna, burn the S3, put Seal on fucking everybody, which not only makes the Blood Moon Haste do next to no fucking damage, but also makes that the Navy Captain Landy not have crit resist, because that's a part of her passive. She doesn't give herself crit resist with a buff. So, hey, lucky us, she goes into Remnant Violet, gets a single hit, Remnant Violet's double-edged decrescent procs, we get a counter, and then I'm like, oh, well, you're fucking dead, because this still does big-ass motherfucking damage. 16k. Boy, that was more HP than your actual total health, Navy Captain Landy. Feels fucking good, man. But yeah, the only reason why I even did that is because New Moon Luna is here. New Moon Luna is able to seal. The crit resist is provided with the passive that Navy Captain Landy has. And without that passive, oh, Shazam, she doesn't have fucking crit resist. So then just go into her, Shazams, you're good to go. Now that the Navy Captain Landy is dead, yeah, they're fucking done. Why? Well, because the Blood Moon Haste took a whole lot of damage, had Death Break, all that other shit, he eventually goes down. He had Seal on him whenever the actual Navy Captain Landy went down, so Blood Aura is not even the thing that I have to worry about. And Laia gets her turn here. Well, who's she going to hit? Going to be Element Advantage Blue Unit Elvira. Elvira has Immortality. I don't give a fuck. I'll just straight up tank that. And now, hey, you're dead. Woohoo! And now on to the last team here. Now, this was one where I was attempting to do a little bit of a test. I was kind of expecting it to not work, and lo and behold, it doesn't fucking work. So, maybe if Elena got pushed back as well, but of course Elena didn't get pushed back because LOL RNG, because she doesn't even have a whole lot of effect resist. Like, the effect resist is really kind of low. I figured like a Sea Phantom Politis would always push any of my fucking Soul Weavers back. But either way, the plan was, okay, hey, Dragon King Sharun would then go up first, do the S3, and then Elena would react with an S3 of her own. This would then result in a complete cleanse, and then we'd have attack buff on Little Queen Charlotte because she has Benimaru's Tai Chi, go into the Abyssal Yufine, and then just straight up kill. Now, it doesn't work out like that particular plan, but the basic actions still pretty much go through. The reason why it works is because this guy's Abyssal Yufine had next to no fucking HP. Lucky me! Because if she had even a little bit more HP, she would have easily survived that S3. Whatever, works out, everything's honky-dory. So, because we were able to deal with the oh-so-wonderful shenanigans of Sea Phantom Politis and Abyssal Tywin, or no, Ambitious Tywin in the, same team, which is horribly fucking cancerous, we're 100% in the clear. Now, Dragon King Sharun is a good option for that, but you still have to deal with Death Break, so make sure you have some kind of cleanser with you as well. It's just, this will prevent you from being stunned. Mediator Cowrick is also a pretty good option for that, but hey, works out. And oh yeah, I just talked over the part that was really, really interesting. Biding my time to get to the S3 on Little Queen Charlotte to send that fucking Sea Phantom Politis into the Shadow Realm. But either way, now on to the last match. So yeah, boys, we're 7 minutes into the Guild War, and we still have a good fucking 10 minutes to go. Guess where all that time comes in? It's in these last two fights. Boy howdy, is it fucking fun. So, here's the deal. We're going into a Dragon Bride Senya, a Lilias, and then also a Navy Captain Landy. So, because it's Navy Captain Landy, okay, well, that makes it pretty easy to pick Elvira, because anytime a Navy Captain Landy is on right side, well, goddamn, they're just gonna use S1s all fucking day. They're gonna counter with every fucking Elbrus, or they're going to, counter you with any other fucking thing whenever you just hit them. And of course, because I'm not going into this with, Last Rider Crow, now she decides to do counterattacks every fucking turn. It's like Elbrus procs constantly, counterattacks proc constantly. It just happens all fucking day. This was one of the biggest reasons as to why I didn't bring Last Rider Crow, because I was like, yeah, I can feel it. I can just feel it. The RNG just straight up ain't gonna work out. So, what we decided to go with is Shadow Knight Pyllis, Roana, and then Elvira. Elvira, of course, counters Navy Captain Landy. Shadow Knight Pyllis is going to be your basic main target for all of the light DPS that's going to be on the other side. The only thing you really have to worry about is basically opening turn, because this Dragon Bride Senya has 36k HP. That S3 on the opening turn is going to hurt like an absolute motherfucker, but thankfully for us, we have more than just a little bit of defense on Shadow Knight Pyllis. Once again, I really, really wish we actually had things like, I don't know, loadout fucking things, like loadout gear profiles, shit like that, because you know what stat we have a whole bunch of wasted shit in Shadow Knight Pyllis right now? ER. We don't need ER. ER is not necessary for this particular fight, which then is like, well, maybe I could have brought Dark Corvus instead. Yeah, I could have brought Dark Corvus, but whatever. Let's just go in with Shadow Knight Pyllis. We'll get this shit done. Hey, everything's working out wonderfully. So the plan is kill Lilias first, because Lilias is going to be spending some turns going into Roana. You necessarily don't really want that. Doesn't really matter, because she's going to pull a dual attack. The dual attack is basically just going to give you free heals, so it doesn't really matter. But, like, the big thing that we need to make sure that we do is we have to order of operations this shit, kill Lilias so that we don't have to deal with extra attacks, then kill Dragon Bride Senya, because as soon as Dragon Bride Senya goes down, then we can start working on Navy Captain Landy. Main reason why is because if the S2 actually procs on Dragon Bride Senya, you are in some deep fucking shit. Why is that? Well, basically, you're going to be taking AoE, like, death-piercing shit on all of your units, and you don't want that. But, either way, the other thing that you need to also keep in mind of is whenever you're utilizing the Roana-Elvira combo is always pay attention to whatever your immortality is at. If you are ever down to 1, you have 2 options. And especially if you're going into something like a Navy Captain Landy and she just happens to be really, really egregious with her salvos, and let's just say you have next to no HP on your Elvira. So, the big thing you need to pay attention to is withhold the S3 on Roana, and use it on the last turn of immortality for Elvira, or if you have the souls, which I do now because the match has been going for a hot minute, then I'll just soul burn on my last turn of immortality, then bam, we'll just go in like this. That way, even if she counters with some counterattacks and some salvos, you're still at 100%, totally safe, never going to die. Woo, I did it! I talked through a lot of bullshit! And now it's time for the other really long-ass match that is not interesting at fucking all. So, here's the thing. I saw another Sea Phantom Politis and a ambitious Tywin comp. But then, with the third unit that was provided onto the team is Belian, so that means you can't really do things like sealing, you can't do things that revolve around book shenanigans. So I was just like, well, I could have brought Dragon King Sharun again, but then I just had a brief little thought. What if I bring the Great Satan? The Great Satan that is Angel of Light Angelica. Now, the big thing that Angel of Light Angelica does is, 1, she is completely immune to stun. Stuns do not exist. So that means that whenever the AoE attack that the ambitious Tywin is going to do at the opening start of the match, she is going to then do a cleanse of one of the debuffs on everybody on the team, and she is not going to be affected by stun at all. Now, the big thing that could make this really, really shitty is, let's just say that Sea Phantom Politis had, I don't know, a little bit more effectiveness on her, and if she did, then she wouldn't be able to cleanse the Destina. Reason why is because the speed down buff was on there first, and that's why Urban Shadow Choux was not able to take a turn whenever the first initial turn happened, because she had speed down on her, and then she also had stun on her, and because of that, hey, it cleanses the speed down first. Now, sucks like that, but hey, everything works out. The only thing that really kind of sucked about it was the Destina is slightly slower than the Urban Shadow Choux, so we straight up, we just basically inted a turn. Now, because of that, okay, cool, whatever, no big deal. The big plan is we're going to use Urban Shadow Choux to basically do a metric fucking shitload of injury damage to the ambitious Tywin. This is really, really handy because Sea Phantom Politis is there, and we can't do the S3 for a fairly decent amount of time. Sucks ass. I love this character. Sea Phantom Politis is the coolest fucking bitch around. But either way, because we've been here for, I don't know, a good 30 or so turns, and the ambitious Tywin is on death's door, we are actually at, and Angel of Light Angelica just went down, but because the ambitious Tywin's done, cool, we're 100% in the clear now. Why are we 100% in the clear? We never have to worry about stuns and def breaks or any of that other shit anymore. All we have left is the Belian. The Belian is, I believe, on a counter set and absolutely not on an injury set. If this was on an injury set, this would be a completely different match. I think we would have still been okay, but it would have looked very, very, very dicey. Because, like, hey, at least we do injury damage ourselves, so we're also reducing the damage that they are doing to us because they're HP scaling units. But whenever you also have injury on you, it ain't so fucking great. But then right here, whenever we go for the kill on Belian, we get another surprise. LOL, I'm gonna waste your time. I love me a good Belian on Holy Sack, just there pretty much just to piss me off and be annoying. because that's pretty much all she is right there. So either way, we go for the Destina, get the heal, we'll bring Angel of Light Angelica back. Hey, cool, she has access to her S2 again. One thing that I really wish I did have a spare of is another one of the Spirit's Breath artifacts that I could throw on her, but hey, you know what, Etika Scepter is just good enough, especially whenever you don't have multiple of the maxed fucking Spirit's Breath artifacts. Hey, works for me. And hey, cool, we managed to do it, boys. We managed to talk through a whole bunch of bullshit, which was basically Urban Shadow shoot dude the big boom boom onto HP units. Yay! And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Guild War. Hoorah! And it's also the day right after patch. And I, honest to God, can't even remember who the fuck was affected. Why? Because the balance patch is fucking dog shit. So, there's 2 units in general who got fixed. Quote, fixed. So that's Sylvan Sage Vivian and Remnant Violet. Remnant Violet has, I don't want to say reliable, but more reliable evasion on his S2, so now he has innate evasion, something that should have probably been done like 3 fucking years ago, but like, hey, whatever, I guess I'll take it now. It's fine. And then also his S3 like got a very, very minor boost in damage. Okay, cool. Remnant Violet be doing some Remnant Violet things. I will probably try to use him in more things. We'll see. And then Sylvan Sage Vivian got like a complete fucking rework. So now she builds her attack off of her S1. So that means like counter set is something that could be a viable thing on her. And whenever she has 3 focus, she's completely immune to debuffs. Okay, that sounds kind of legit. However, who's that one unit that like comes around that just shits all over focus and fighting spirit and is generally a nuisance and is a horrible fucking character? Oh, that'd be Sea Phantom Politis. So with Sea Phantom Politis on the field, she only gains 2.5 focus on turn 0. So she's vulnerable to debuffs. So she doesn't do jack fucking shit to Sea Phantom Politis. Boy, what a great fucking game to play. But either way, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, and oh yeah, Yuna got buffs and nobody likes them. Good job. I'm already ready for a new balance patch. Well, see you guys in 3 fucking months. Well, either way, if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more of my content, hit subscribe. Ooh woo.